なんで悔しいよ。
Don't blame yourself, man. I will talk to Himiko lastly. You must be devastated. I'm sorry, Tenko. Crying won't bring Tenko back. And if we don't investigate thoroughly, we will die too. Oh man. You're right. Tenko would want us to figure it out so she would have no regrets. That would be the best way to apologize. Yeah. I guess. Yes, the white sheet we used for the seance. Now that I think about it, wouldn't the no, I don't know. This cloth is pretty thick. It's similar to a window curtain, but it's completely opaque. And on the back, look, there's a bloodstain on it, right around the middle of the sheet. But no hole in the fabric. Which means Tenko wasn't stabbed through this cloth. She was stabbed while underneath the cloth. Oh, there's a dog statue. Kiyo said it was about 170 pounds. 75 pounds. That's about the weight of 2 girls. Are you serious? What? Are you bloody serious?
Huh?
What do you know about girls? Have you even touched a woman besides your mother? I'm kidding. Anyway. If this heavy thing was on top of the cage, then Tenko wouldn't have been able to get out easily. Yeah. That didn't sound like you were kidding earlier. Do these floorboards seem a little unstable to you? They are tough to walk on. The floorboards aren't nailed down, they're just lying on top of cross pieces. That's what Gonta told me. That's probably the reason they're a little unstable. They've only been laid on top. That's why they're unstable. Well, the boards are fairly thick and sturdy. I can't imagine they would come loose easily. But if someone wanted to remove a floorboard, they could easily do so, right? Yes, I suppose. This seems to be a big clue. Because if she was lying down, or she was lying like that on the floor, it feels like the floorboards are a hint. Was this drawn with salt? Whenever I perform a seance, I always use salt. Are you feeling alright? You sound ridiculous. Ridiculous? I have performed many successful seances. Why, I have even had spirits enter my body. Maki really doesn't beat around the bush. It's kind of refreshing, actually. In any case, with all these footprints I can't make out the original circle.
別に
We'll find out in Kia's lab. It should be written in the Cage Dog Village document.
ね
Isn't that right, Kyo? He seems depressed. I suppose that makes sense.
Oi!
えちょっと
でも
やっぱり
Here we go. I feel really bad for her. Oh, this. Oh. Oh, come on, please, why do you keep doing these damn flashbacks? Tenko had her forehead on this rock hunched over. Hmm.
これってうん
Oh my god.
ねえこれっ
Look at
て
this. A blood stain on the bottom of the cage.
そうだな
This spatter must have been made when she was killed.
どうなの
Which means Tenko was killed while she was inside the cage.
うんだったら
If she was stabbed right when the cage was lifted, that would explain this bloodstain, right?
え
Hmm. Perhaps he wasn't killed during the seance, but the exact moment the cage was lifted. That is a possibility. Tenko's dead body. She took her last breath crouched over like this. According to the Monokuma file, her only injury is the stab wound to her neck. This wound was fatal.
うーん
This must have caused instant death. I didn't hear a scream during the seance. Oh wait. Would Tenko really keep her mouth shut despite the pain?
うん
Her death might not have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out.
え
What do you mean?
どうせ
You were concerned about that, right?
うん
With a wound this deep, the victim is too shocked to do anything except die.
えっと
You're speaking from experience?
当たり前だよ
Of course. Quick deaths are my specialty. Well then, that makes
ところで
sense.
さ
The real question is, what was she killed with? I don't see a murder weapon around. I don't see an obvious murder weapon. That could be a clue. Ah, this floorboard is loose. And it's the one right under Tenko.
どう して確
Why?
か
It wasn't like this before. It must have come loose during the seance.
なんで
Why?
でも
A floorboard this thick and heavy wouldn't have come loose easily. Then someone must have loosened it on purpose. How did the culprit kill Tenko in complete darkness? Oh, is it the blood? No. Or at least I don't think so. Seriously? What do I have to... Hole in the corner? What? There's a small opening in the corner of the room. It doesn't look big enough for a person to get through, but
これって
still. A hole? Looks like there's space under here too. Oh, hold on. I can see something below. It looks like something dropped down there.
ね
After we check everywhere else, why don't we go under the floor and see for
え
ourselves?
そうだねところでさ
It seems pretty dark down there. What should we use for light?
そうだな
Let's bring a candle. With Kiyo's light from up here, that should be fine. Then I'll go get a candle. Remove that floorboard so we can go down. This is a lot more spacious than I thought. Sorry, I kind of spaced out. You can move pretty easily on all fours. Let's look around for clues.
あのさ
It would look pretty stupid if we found no clues after crawling around in this dusty place. There's a bloodstain on the ground underneath the loose floorboard. But that's pretty far from where Tenko's blood is dripping down. It's under the same floorboard, just at different ends. Why is there blood here?
ね
Hey, the back of this floorboard has blood on it too. You're right. There's a little bit of blood on the underside of this floorboard.
えどうなの
Did Tenko's blood spatter here when she got killed?
そうだな
Can't really be sure yet. But these bloodstains here are completely dry. There must be some reason these particular stains are dry. Huh. Ah, look! Part of the crosspiece that supports the floorboard is cut off.
そうだね
It's near the loose floorboard and the portion missing is about the same width too. And from what I can see of it,
そうだな
it wasn't broken off naturally. This was cut by someone. There should be saws in the warehouse, so they could have used that. The question is why.
ふん
Another cross piece is supporting the floorboard, so it might not fall if this portion is missing.
だったら
So what purpose did this serve? The floorboard underneath Tenko's body is loose, and the crosspiece supporting it has been cut. If the culprit did all of this, then why? Oh man, I'm probably not going to like this class trial. Blood dripping from the gaps in the floorboards. Fresh blood. This is definitely Tenko's. Oh man. There's a sickle here, and there's blood all over it. The blood on this sickle is fresh. This is it. This is the murder weapon.
これって
This came from my research lab. It did?
あのさ
A sickle can be used to assassinate a target. It can be thrown without losing any lethality, and you can hide it under your clothes too.
まあ
If she was attacked with this, she wouldn't stand a chance. The blade is about 6 inches.
そうだね
And since Tenko was in the cage, she wouldn't have been able to defend herself.
でも
But even if this is our murder weapon, how did the culprit attack Tenko in the cage? The blade could fit through the gaps in the cage, but could it reach her neck?
そうだね
The cage is 3 feet high. If you were to stab into it with a 6-inch blade, well, it would depend on Tenko's posture, but I don't think it's impossible. Then her posture is the question.
ね
If the weapon is down here, the culprit must have thrown it away, right?
えそうだな
Perhaps after killing Tenko, the culprit threw the sickle under the floor in the dark. Or they could have been under the floor the entire time. Either of those is possible. Oh. Oh, man. Some of the wood has corroded and it's broken off, so you can see into the next room.
ね
This is the wall of the empty room, right? Looks like there's wood along the wall. This part has rotted away. It looks like natural rot. This hole wasn't made intentionally. But I can't get into the next room through here.
確かに
If I remember correctly, the room next door is also empty, right? Then the culprit could have gone from room to room by moving under here instead of using the hallway.
いや
True, but it would have been difficult moving around under the floor. We did alright because we had a light. Without that, it would be pitch black. That might make it impossible to move around in there.
うん
Then they could have used a light like we're doing right now.
まあ
True. They used a light to move around under the floor? Is that possible? Ugh.
いいかな
Maki, you want to head back up? Glad you asked. I was starting to get fed up with all this dust.
to ところでさ
We've only been investigating this room. You sure that's wise?
だって
What do you mean? If Angie and Tenko have different killers, then the blackened we need to vote for is
そうだね
the culprit for the first murder. The culprit who killed Angie. That's what Monokuma said.
だったら
So instead of investigating Tenko's death, shouldn't we be investigating Angie's? Yes, of course.
でも
But this is bigger than the killing game. For the sake of the two who died, I need to reveal the truth of both their deaths.
ふーん
Well, I understand why you feel that way. But if you plan on investigating the other crime scene again, we should probably hurry. When I came to the hallway. Oh no. A scene more surprising than I could ever imagine unfolded. God damn it! What? Oh, this is real blood?
どうして
What are you doing? I got curious about something, so I decided to search the empty room next door. Then suddenly, I stepped through the floorboard.
ひどいよね。
ちょっとおお
What?
殺し合いの誇り自信と夢
Oh
殺
god.
し合いファンよ胸を張れそしてしかと見届け
Oh, let me check the timer. No, we're
プ
good.
ロ野球サッカースマホゲーよく見ていろこれが殺し合いのパワーだ殺し合いは絶対に負けない全生徒学級裁判場に入場です
I guess time's up.
あらららら。
What were you trying to check?
ほら。
I wanted to research the scenes again, but I brought this document with me. But unfortunately,
ちー。
couldn't find anything new that could be used as a clue. Kyo perfectly reenacted the scenes as what was written in the document. He drew his magic circle the same exact way as in this picture. Not only that, he used the same exact tools too. Nothing suspicious about this whole thing. Well, I want to check the finer details, but I'll tell you about it later.
にしし。
そうだね
Is Maki nervous? I see. So even she gets nervous sometimes.
殺されたいの
Whoa. I feel like we haven't had enough time to investigate. So it's time again, huh? Wow, we're so few people now.
そっか。
大丈夫。あ、
大丈夫。
おお。
知らない。つうわけで。
よくないな。
名前だぶ。
ですが、
あのさ。
She shouldn't have relied on Atua in the first place. But seriously, it's kind of funny seeing a robot believe in God, especially Atua.
僕だって。そうです。
Before I even met Angie, I had a similar experience. Hearing voices, I mean.
ちょっと。
たくよ。
The trial this time is gonna be rough. We got caught in Monokuma's trap.
そうだな。
He probably made the fourth floor so scary on purpose to prevent me from investigating.
もういいよ。
なあ。
Right. Well, I don't like the look of that water.
ありゃ
うぷぷ。では。エクストリーム。
The third class trial was about to begin. Oh man. This game makes me so sad. Yeah, so oh man. This game is really emotionally exhausting for me. But yeah, we will continue this some other time. So as much as I hate whenever every time something bad happens, we also have to do the class trials to find out what the truth is. Except that the truth might not be what we actually want to see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and hope to see you around.